know that you could be a songwriter in 4-H? Hi, I'm Hannah Manili in Oklahoma 4-H Music Corps, and I'm a bass player, guitar player, singer, and songwriter. And these are my 5 tips for good songwriting. Tip number 1 is to not sugarcoat what you write. A lot of people write from personal experiences, and you don't know if other people are going through the same thing. So if you write something but you're afraid, oh, this might make people uncomfortable, oh, it might sound too harsh, might sound too raw, just somebody might hear the song you write and be like, oh, I'm not the only one, they're going through the same thing, and that could help people, and it's what makes good music. Tip number 2 is to be confident. You paint a picture with your words, and not everybody might understand it or like it, and that's okay. You don't change it to make someone like it, because no matter what you do, not everybody's going to like it. It's just how it is. That's what makes different genres and different music tastes and everything like that. So don't be confident and just be bold. Tip number 3 is to not limit yourself. A song can be 2 minutes long or 6 minutes long or 3 minutes long, and I know bands that write 20-minute long songs that are awesome. And so don't think if you have all these words and you're like, oh, there's no way this is going to fit in like 3 minutes and a half, just don't make it fit 3 minutes and a half. If you write a song with only a couple lyrics and you were like, oh, this isn't long enough, no one's going to listen to it, just leave it short or leave it long. It doesn't have to be. I listen to music super short, super long all the time. It doesn't have to be 3.5 minutes for people to like it. So don't limit yourself. Tip number 4 is probably my most important tip I have on here, and it's don't force yourself to write. If you force something, it's not going to be good, no matter what you're doing. So if you sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write this song because somebody wants me to have one tomorrow, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be awesome, it's not going to. You don't want to force yourself to write ever. A lot of people, when they write, it just comes to them. That's not how it is for everyone, but that's definitely how it is for me. And you want to write when you're in the mood. You want to write when you're feeling it. You don't want to write when you're not really, when your brain's not really on music, because then it's just not going to be very good. So don't force yourself to write. And tip number 5 is be organized. I know it seems like a silly tip or an obvious tip, but I know a lot of people who have problems with it, and a lot of people who are just starting to write that have problems with it. I have a system that I write with, and a lot of people have different ones. So if I was going to write some lyrics right here, and then I would have a chorus, I would just put a little star by the chorus or something like that. Just so instead of repeating it on a piece of paper, I would just put a little star right there. Or if I think I'm going to add in something, or there's something I'm not sure about, I'll put a little note by it on the side and then write something. And I actually have a giant binder filled with these different sections, and these ones are finished songs, and these ones are instrumentals, and these ones are stuff that I'm thinking about, and these ones I still need to work on, and these ones are just silly. I have all these different sections, and then sometimes me and my band will get together, and my guitar player will be like, oh, I have something cool that would fit with those lyrics, I think, and we'll just smash it together. And that's not always how you write. That's not the only way to write. It's not the best way to write. But if you do decide to write that way, you're going to have to be organized. So another good thing is to have a good program. And I have a program that I use. And I tab all my songs out on here. And you don't have to be I'm not talented very much to do this. You don't have to be very good to write on a computer. It's really easy. You just put in your little notes and you can write all these things, and you can email them back and forth on most computer programs. Because I don't write drums. I write basically all the guitars, the bass, and the electrics, and the acoustics, and then I send it to my buddy who lives like 40 miles away, and he adds drums in, and then he sends it back. And so this is one of our songs. This is one of the first songs I wrote on here, and I'm trying to play a piece for you. This is what it sounds like together. I'm Hannah Manili, and these were my 5 tips for good songwriting.